You are not boring, you just lack social skills. This is the biggest thing I learned. I thought that I was so uninteresting because I didn't know how to have a conversation, and every time I did, it would just end terribly when I was in high school. So I had developed the belief that I was just not a fun, interesting person, but really what the issue was is I just had no social skills. So the moment I started developing my social skills, my life started to change. And this is something that I'm ever working on and consistently improving because I took a sales call with someone who was trying to sell me, and they were the best salesman that I've encountered in a long time. I paid him $1,000 yesterday to improve my closing skills, being that I'm a sales coach, and I know that you can always learn and develop. To give you an example, there's so many small things that you can do to be more charismatic, things that I'm not even doing, and I have great success socially. I'm gonna give you one cool trick from the lesson that I learned yesterday, just delivering you on some free value. So, one thing we went over is when someone tells you something, there's this common thing called mirroring. So, it means you basically spit back that information. One thing that I was doing is I was just I was just regurgitating the information, saying it back to them as they said it to me. Whereas a more powerful method would be to reiterate it in a different form. So either relating to that, sharing a story on exactly what they told you about yourself, or asking a question is a really powerful one. So for example, if someone says, I'm working in construction, you can be like, oh, no way, man. What's a current project that you're working on? Or what's the coolest project you worked on and built? Something like that to show that you understood what they said. And now you're asking to show curiosity and show that you actually care about this person and you want to know more about them, instead of just being like, oh yeah, man, that's cool that you do construction. That is a way of mirroring, but that's a very beginner way. There's levels to charisma and being able to connect with people quickly. And that's one of them. It's going to be just leveling up in every single way, being able to build rapport and likability right off the bat. I'm telling you, people can build that quickly. In a couple minutes, the difference can be someone wanting to leave a conversation versus someone thinking you're the most interesting person in the world, all because you asked the right questions, you showed interest in them. Usually, it's not going to be about telling them things about yourself. People really only care about if you make them feel better, they're going to like you so much more. So, always trying to turn the conversation back to them, giving answers to the questions they ask you, but keeping them short and snappy, not trying to go on and on about yourself and how great you are, because no one cares. The more you can make that person feel great and special by this interaction, the more they're going to like you. So that was just one example I gave you from what I learned yesterday about mirroring, but there's a ton more that you can do that's going to make people like you, just asking questions about them and then really diving into them, digging deeper, trying to learn more about them. And like I said, talking less about yourself. But developing your social skills is probably going to be one of the most important things that you do in this life. Communication is going to be what generates 90% of the results for the things that you want. If you want to get hot girls, if you want to make money, if you want to have friends and a solid network, you are going to need to be an effective communicator. That is one thing that you're never going to be able to pass up on. So the more books you read on sales, the more books you read just on communication, and then actually get out and practice these things in real life, applying the skills that you learned. There's tons of sales courses, mentors out there that can all help you bridge this gap. So anything you can do to become a more effective communicator is going to allow you to start having the results that you want out of life so much quicker. To tell you a story about myself, just 3 years ago, I was a shy, introverted kid who struggled socially so badly. I mean, I didn't have any charisma. I had a difficulty building rapport and making people like me. I could maybe make some guy friends when I went places because guys are pretty easygoing and it's not too hard. But like to quickly build rapport with a girl and get her to like me, if it was more than anything just physical, if she didn't think I was like very attractive right off the bat, then I struggled massively with this. So forget about high school. I mean, high school, I couldn't even if a girl liked me, I still messed it up. That's how bad I was socially. So fast forward a couple years after taking on some sales careers, pushing myself socially, doing work outside of, expanding my comfort zone, doing cold approaches every single day in the gym, at the beach, anywhere I went, really, at every club and bar I went to. Is what allowed me to break down those barriers and become more social. And I'm not still the best person socially, but I'm a whole lot better than I was before, and I have the life of my dreams, or as close to it as possible, from everything that I've done. So the key to that is just going to be getting out there and getting uncomfortable. The more people you talk to, the better you're going to be. And the more times you try and apply these little things, the more it's going to ingrain in your mind. So take that little piece of advice that I gave you earlier in this call about mirroring, and go ahead and try that like 5 times and see how it works out. See if you can make someone laugh, or make them excited, or have that spark come up once you ask that question, and show that they're like passionate about what they do and that you actually showed interest. And you're like, oh, that's awesome, man. You built a freaking skyriser? No way. And they're going to feel so good that you just paid them an attribute to a career that, like, for example, with construction, that's normally so overlooked. And if you're like, no way, you're building a skyscraper, man, that's freaking awesome. And they're going to feel so great about themselves. I don't want to overload you with information on things to try, so I just gave you that one thing. So my challenge to you in this video is going to be, go out and talk to 5 people and do that exact thing that we talked about earlier. Ask them a question based on something they told you, so you're reiterating, you're mirroring the information they just gave you, but in the form of a question. So you show that you understand what they said, you acknowledge that, and now you build off of it instead of just repeating what they said back to them. That's going to be an advanced mirroring technique, and it's going to really allow you to build rapport with people super quickly. So that's my challenge for you. Go out, do that with 5 people, come back, comment the results down below, and I'll guarantee you that you had better conversations than you would have beforehand. All right, that is all for this video, boys. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.